Yo, what's up, guys? I'm coming on here onto this video. I'm gonna give a general kind of overview of some of the reviews that people have given on Contractor Showdown. This game has been out for a little bit. I get this, so we're gonna go on a little bit of a tour. We're gonna show you some fucking stuff like stuff that people talk about, how bad the game is. I'm gonna bring up a general issue. Uh, so we got Zero FX. All right, give this guy a shout. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's a YouTuber or not. Maybe he is. I don't know. You know, personally, I don't know. You got to find him. Give him. I don't know. Just know him. I guess. There's a shout out for you, buddy. If you're watching, I don't know if you are. Nothing like the promotion. The promotional videos. The storefront for the game is misleading. The visuals are honestly horrendous in comparison to the trailers on the store page. Janky controllers make it frustrating to bother playing at times. Seems to have a few glitchy issues at the moment. I'd add stars when the issues get resolved. I enjoyed some matches I played, but I'll wait until things get better before coming back. I won't refund in the hope that things get developed to be acceptable level of game release quality. So that he says there is, let's go back into the review. Let's go here. Seems to have a few glitchy issues at the moment. Okay, what few glitchy issues? Tell me, come on. What few glitchy issues? I need to know. Like, right? Like that's the thing. I'm not paid by this company or anything. I'm just saying people need to address issues. People need to go in and say stuff about issues. People need to be like, hey, this game is a general issue. It needs to be addressed. Just like this person made a fucking poem. This guy right here, right there is his name. Quick Iguana 2223 made a poem about how bad this game is, about how horrible and how bad the graphic quality is. So he says, IMO feels unfinished, kind of polarizing. See all these 5-star reviews saying it's the best VR game ever with great graphics and fun gameplay, and then getting on, seeing muddy graphics with glitchy textures, and having it not run super well on the Quest 3. By the way, gameplay feels very slow pace with way too much walking around on this dull gray empty map and very little fighting. The fighting itself doesn't feel very inspired overall, just very dull and bland. I hate to compare this to Population 1 because they are very, very different games. I like the empathy. Population 1 being a faster pace, less realistic, and more active, while this game seems to be more slow paced with more realistic and less arcade-like gunplay. But I'd still easily take Pop 1 over this any day. Population 1's insanely better, has more action-packed matches, despite the smaller player count, more vibrant colors with a clear style that just feels like Population 1. And I'd say overall, Population 1 just feels much more finished and creative than this game. The best way I could describe this, the combat in this game, is that it feels like playing a version of Ghost of the Boar with absolutely no tension. The Ghost of the Boar part, that can go, because Ghost of the Boar can't even be in this mix. That game is horrible. That game sucks. No matter what you tell me, no matter how much I play that, their community sucks. The people who make that game suck, and I don't care what they say about my video. I don't care. I might have a few subscribers. If they see this, I'm not going to say anything about you. I'm just going to say that you need to update your game. You need to update your game, and your community sucks, and you need to stop saying it's a skill issue. All right, let's take them out of the thing. So what does he say? I like the empathy. He says, I'd hate to compare it to Population 1, because I get it. Population 1 and Contractor Showdown, two totally different games. One's been out for 3.5 years. One's been out for 3 days. Okay, this is a serious thing to need addressed. He says it's very... He did bring in some bugs. He said it's very muddy graphics. Okay, he's bringing very muddy graphics and low textures. Okay, but there's obviously more than that. Everyone knows there's more than that. But he says he's kind of polarizing, seeing all the 5-star reviews saying it's the best VR game ever with great graphics and fun gameplay. And he says having it not run super well on the Quest 3, by the way. For me, personally, I think it runs perfectly fine on the Quest 3. For me, I think it runs perfectly fine. I have not had any performance issues. Yeah, I might have a few texture drops here and there, and like maybe all the way across the map. I mean, like maybe on a mountain that's maybe 2 miles away from me, right? Like obviously at range and distance you're gonna have textural issues, but that's fine. I mean that's it. That's the thing. I mean the game can't load in the entire map. I mean you're not playing on a $2,000 PC. Maybe if you were playing on a PC, yeah, it would be better, but the rendering would still be horrible. I mean, because you're playing on a Quest 3, you're having a Quest 3, you're having a game on a PC, a $2,000 PC run off a headset like a Quest 3. Like it's not there. But yeah, no, those were the general issues that I kind of wanted to bring up. I think that seriously, before I go, I'm gonna bring up a few more stuff. I think people listen. I'm not hating on Ghost of the Boar. I think that Ghost of the Boar is a very bad game. There is bugs. Bullets need to be changed. The armor system needs to be changed. The graphics are good. The quality on the game is good. There's nothing wrong graphically or texturally. Everything is fine. Everything is smooth. I love it. But the magazines becoming too... I know I kind of changed the subject going from talking about contractor reviews to Ghost of the Boar, but I'm bringing up a general issue. This is still with it. The magazines need to be fixed. Them becoming 2,000 pounds and falling through the ground, that seriously needs to be fixed. That is a issue. Like, serious issue. Like, the amount of times I can tell you I've lost a 50 BMG mag because it just automatically becomes 75 pounds and went to the fucking Earth's core. Yeah, that is a serious issue that needs to be fixed. And the armor system needs to be fixed. Maybe there needs to be a rating system on armor. Maybe it needs to be more like Tarkov. Like, it's not a percent. It's like, it has a rating. So, like, it's like you have armor. You have, an LVAV, a black vest, a police vest. Okay, it has a rating that supports 22, 9mm. It has a rating that supports 45 and below. Okay, a 5.56 shoots it. Bam, busts right through. A 9mm shoots it. It stops it. Maybe the 9mm shoots it so much that the armor loses its durability. Now you become more vulnerable. So then it can go into like the percentage. Like, okay, there's a chance it'll stop the bullet. It went from being able to definitely stop the bullet to going from, okay, it might stop the bullet, right? Like, because when I'm wearing tier 6 with an Alton, I'm wearing an Alton or a tier 6 vest or the collector's gear, tier 7, and I get shot with a 50 BMG, I'm not expecting to just eat it like it was dinner. Let me remind you, in real life, they say they have realism in their game. In real life, a 50 BMG is meant to penetrate armored cars. Yes, you heard me right. Armored light infantry vehicles. Mm-hmm. Like LAVs, like armored vehicles. Like you see those ones from the Iraq War, from like Desert Storm. It's meant to penetrate those and modern, those and above. Like, it's meant to penetrate armored shit. Like, not tank armor, but armor. It depends on what type of tank. Like, if you're looking like Cold War tank, then yeah, possibly it could. But no. Yeah, I would hate to say, but you cannot use realism in a game like that. You really cannot use realism in a game like that. Like, because when I'm expecting to get shot by 50 BMG, I'm expecting my chest to turn into a fucking crater. Like, I'm expecting to get killed instantly. Like I'm expecting to not even feel it. I'm expecting the energy to just be so much that it blows my body into pieces. Obviously, you don't have to make it that gory, but just make it where it kills you instantly. Like when I'm shot in the head when I'm wearing an Alton, right? I'm expecting it to fucking blow my head up, like blow my head off. Like it incinerated. It doesn't exist anymore. It blows pieces all over the place. No. In that game, there is a 80% chance that the bullet goes through. It means there's a 20% chance that the bullet doesn't go through. There should be a 100% chance with a 50 BMG that it busts clean through somebody. Also, shotguns need to be fixed too. Let me give you a little bit of realistic data here. You can use buckshots and slugs. Okay, guess what? Slugs and buckshots, those pellets that come out of it move just as fast as a 9mm round. So you're basically just full autoing a 9mm. You're basically shooting a 9mm 9 times, or however many pellets are in there, right at a person. That's pretty much what you're doing. You're shooting a bunch of 9mm at a person. They obviously don't have the diameter of a 9mm, but they equal a 9mm speed. It was about 1200 FPS, which is that's 9mm speed. So the game makes no sense. Shotgun should not be one-shotting me when I'm wearing tier 6 armor. That's not, like, it should be stopping, like, maybe not at point blank with the LVAV, but at good distance, and LVAV should be guaranteedly stopping it. Like, 100%. Especially if they're shooting slugs. Maybe since it's a heavier round. Maybe tier 2 would be reasonable for it. Maybe a tier 2. Which actually a tier 2 would be an LVAV. But yeah, no, maybe an LVAV could block it. Maybe tier 2, which is an LVAV. Maybe a tier 3. Maybe a tier 3. No. At range, I think a tier 2 would be reasonable. At point blank, I think maybe a tier 4 would be a reasonable point to be like, okay, so that's tan armor. Yeah, no, but I'm just bringing up some just general reasons and factors. But yeah, no, that's really all I gotta say. I know I kind of swapped the subject. I kind of turned into like a sort of a, Ghost to the Boar, this and that, or I went from going to contractors, how people need to genuinely. But what I'm trying to get to the point is, people, you need to help. Bring out an issue, report it to the devs, report it directly to the devs, report it to their Discord. Maybe not their Discord because they'll claim it's a skill issue, but report it to like the reviews, and maybe they'll see it. It's very unlikely, but maybe they'll see it. Try to help them. All right, that's all I gotta say. Goodbye.